Welcome to Speakeasy Spirits. We've stepped outside of the bar today because on a day like this, you don't want to be cooped up inside. So I want to show you how you can take your drinks with you. Whether you're out on a deck, out camping, or drinking in the back of a pickup truck at a drive-in theater showing a King Kong movie. So I want to show you how you can pre-mix and batch great cocktails so you can take them with you or have them ready for a party so you're not stuck behind the bar. Let's go back inside and whip up our cocktail. Not all cocktail recipes are going to be great for making in a large batch. So before you start batching a cocktail, you need to ask yourself a few questions. 1, does this recipe use citrus? A batch cocktail with citrus juices is going to have a shorter shelf life than something without the citrus juice. An old-fashioned, you can batch days in advance, where something like a Mai Tai, you're going to want to use it within 24 hours. You're also going to need to ask yourself how you're going to chill your cocktails. Are you just pre-batching to speed the process up and still use a shaker and ice to make the drinks? If so, then you're going to get the extra dilution from the ice when you shake or stir the cocktail. But if you're not going to shake it and you want it ready to drink right out of the bottle, you're going to need to add dilution. The amount of dilution you get really depends on the cocktail. A stirred cocktail is probably around 18% dilution, where a shaken cocktail is probably more in the range of 25%. But even that's going to vary depending on the kind of ice you use. If you normally make your drinks with pebble ice, you're going to get a lot more dilution, where if you're using large pieces of ice, you're probably going to get less dilution. One way you can figure this out is to make a single cocktail. Before you add any ice or shake it, either measure or weigh the drink, then shake it with the ice and weigh and measure the total again and see how much water was added to the drink. Or there are some simple tools you can use online to calculate the dilution for you. Bartending legend Jeffrey Morgenthaler has created batchcalc.com. There you can enter all of the ingredients and amounts for a single drink and specify how many servings or how many ounces you want to make, and it'll do the calculations for you, and you can choose to add dilution depending on whether the drink is shaken or stirred, or add your own custom dilution. I want my drink ready to go so I can just pour it over ice in the glass. So we're going to use batchcalc.com to figure out the dilution and the amounts to fill a 750 milliliter bottle. So to go from a drink that's this size to a batched cocktail that'll fill this bottle, all we do is enter the ingredients for a single cocktail, and it'll do the math for us and tell us what the measurements are to fill this bottle, and we can choose that it's a shaken cocktail, and it'll figure out the dilution we need so we can add the right amount of water. Let's start our batched Mai Tai with 9 ounces of rum. For this one, I'm going to use Hamilton Jamaican Pot Still Gold because a good Mai Tai needs some Jamaican rum. But we're only going to use about 5 ounces of that. And we're going to make up the rest of that amount with some Bacardi 8-year. So we'll add that until we hit the 9-ounce mark. And add that to your bottle. Now we need orgeat. Orgeat is basically just an almond syrup. Now you can buy this in the stores, you can order it online, or you can make it at home. This one is homemade, and it's made with just 8 ounces of almond milk and 8 ounces of sugar, and that's all you need for a really simple orgeat. Now to this one, I've also steeped some chai tea bags in here, so we're going to make our Mai Tai a chai Tai. And we need 4.5 ounces. The next ingredient is lime juice. Now when I'm making a single Mai Tai at home, I always go for a fresh squeezed lime. But when I'm making a large batch, I usually make things simple on myself and just grab a bottle of fresh lime juice. Now this one is pure lime juice. There's no additives, no sugar. Make sure you're not getting a lime cordial that's got added sugar. For this, we're going to need 4 ounces. And now we need our orange liqueur. I'm going to use this Grand Imperial. It's brandy based, which makes it a curacao. You could also use a triple sec, but traditionally Trader Vic's Mai Tai recipe was made with a curacao. And for this, we're going to need 2.5 ounces. And now, since I want this chilled and ready to serve, we need to add our dilution. And that's going to be 5 ounces of water according to batchcalc.com. I'm going to use some filtered water here. And this will equal the water we'd get from the melting ice when you shake a cocktail. And if all the calculations are correct, that should just fill the bottle. Now let's give this a quick shake to combine everything. Let's give this some time to chill, and I'll see you out on the deck. The last thing you need to bring with you is an ice chest with your ice cubes. For a Mai Tai, I generally use a rocks glass, so we've got a small plastic glass here. We'll top that off with a few ounces of our pre-mixed Mai Tai. That's a perfect Mai Tai. With the citrus juice in here, it'll last 1 to 2 days before the citrus starts to oxidize. That's plenty of time for a camping trip, a day trip, or a party. I wouldn't try batching anything with cream or eggs, but any other cocktail should batch fairly easily. In fact, I made 2 bottles of Mai Tai. I'm taking one over to a friend's house tonight to share it with them. I hope you liked the video. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.